What's up, guys? It's Hayden.
And I'm Emma, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be reviewing a Netflix film that's been released very recently. It's actually a sequel to one of the greatest series of all time, Breaking Bad, and that film is El Camino.
Yeah, so El Camino follows Jesse Pinkman in the events after Breaking Bad. So I think now's probably a good time to say, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? But if you haven't seen it, you probably need to go and watch it right now. Stop watching this video, go watch Breaking Bad, because It's going to be hard to review without spoiling at least some of Breaking Bad.
Yep.
So please do that now.
Yes.
For those that have seen it, you will know that at the end of Breaking Bad, Jesse escapes from his captors, and El Camino follows on from that, pretty much directly after that. After he escapes from his captors. And the whole story is just about him just trying to escape, escape that world he's been in for so long and trying to find a better life for himself.
Yeah. So this will be a spoiler-free review. Although, as Hayden said, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, you need to see that first before you see this movie or watch this review because there may be spoilers for Breaking Bad that come up. And this film will not make any sense to you without have seen that show.
That's a good point. I think it's essential to watch Breaking Bad before watching this movie. And I think it's really only going to appeal to the people that have watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah. I mean, you could give it a go without seeing the show, but I feel like you're going to be very lost. And you're not going to have all those cool Easter egg moments.
You're not going to be attached to the characters
either. No, you're not going to be,
Yeah, you follow these characters, in a series, you follow these characters for so long that you grow attached to them.
You grow a relationship with them.
Yeah, and this movie doesn't work without that previous connection.
Yeah, you're not going to get as much out of it without having seen the series. So definitely go see that first before you see this. And look, the series finished, like 6 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
It's probably been about that since we finished watching it ourselves. And I feel like I would have liked to have had a refresher of the show before jumping straight into the film. I mean, we remembered the general gist of what happened in the end. But I think I personally would have got a lot more out of the film if I just had a bit of a refresher. I mean, Netflix obviously do a little bit of a, montage, very, very quick montage of the series before the film.
Events.
Yeah, previous events before the film starts. But, I mean, it was so quick and, Breaking Bad is one of those shows that is so detailed. There is so much to their storylines.
Vince Gilligan is known for that. He's known for his detail.
Yes.
For everything connecting.
Yeah, so you really do need to have that backstory going into this. And even knowing the general gist, remembering the general gist of what happened in the final season, I would have liked to have gone back and watched the last episode at least again. There was a few, I'm not spoiling anything, but there were a few characters and little events. I was like, oh, they're familiar. This is ringing a bell, but I can't put my finger on it. And so I feel like I would have got a lot more out of the movie.
I feel like this movie works best if you watch the whole of Breaking Bad and then you watch El Camino directly afterwards.
Yeah. Because for those who have seen Breaking Bad, you remember that the last scene of the final episode is Jesse driving away from the scene. The film literally starts from that moment.
Picks up right after that.
Yeah, and it's the closure, I think.
It's the closure to Jesse's story.
Yeah.
And it's funny you touch on, it starts directly after those events. But obviously some time's passed and the actors have changed. So if you pay really close attention, you do notice that a little bit, which is a bit of a downside to it.
Yeah.
You do notice that, these actors have changed a little bit. And they do their best to kind of make them look similar to how they did at the end of Breaking Bad. But it is kind of noticeable, especially with a couple of characters in particular.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's been, 6 years since they stopped filming the show. Obviously, people age. Some characters have put on a bit of weight. Got some wrinkles now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the makeup artist had a tough job. Cause for continuity, that would have been so hard to take, the opening scene of the film as the very last shot of that episode all those years ago and replicate that makeup and those looks. That would have been so hard for them. And especially if the actors have, since aged a little bit. I mean, if you don't look into it too much, if you can just overlook that, it's not too bad.
It doesn't take too much away from it.
There's a couple of moments where you're like, oh, it's kind of throwing me out a little
that's a
bit.
minor thing. I think the biggest kind of issue I had with this movie is that it's just kind of all right. It's fine.
It was good. It was pretty much just like watching another Breaking Bad episode, which was awesome. It was great to have it back in our lives. But I was kind of anticipating it to be a little bit more.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting, but I just expected a little bit more than what we got.
We don't want to say too much about the story because it is a spoiler-free review, but the story, just doesn't... There's not much in it. And you'll know what we mean when you finish it, but there's just not much in it. And I felt like we almost could have done without it. Like, I don't think it was a necessary story. Like, I'll always take more Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I'll always take more Breaking Bad. I'm not complaining that they made it. I enjoyed it. We did enjoy it. But I don't think the story was absolutely necessary because,
I mean, well, that's the argument.
Because I think at the end of Breaking Bad, I think that's a pretty decent ending to Jesse's character. He's escaped, and you kind of presume that he's going to try and get out of that life and try and do something else for himself. Try and move on and get away from that kind of life. I feel like that's a decent ending for his character in the end of Breaking Bad, and I feel like they just didn't need to make another 2 hours of Jesse's character. Some people feel like that. I know others feel like it's the closure that they needed. So it's there's people on both sides of the fence in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I love a good closure for characters in films. Like I do get quite frustrated when films just cut or shows just cut and there's still so many unanswered questions there, and I definitely do love closure. So for me, I'm not mad.
Actually, I'm not even mad.
I am fine that they made this film. I just, as I said, I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't know if this is what I was expecting after seeing it. It was good. I enjoyed it, but I don't know, I felt like it should have been a bit more epic.
I feel like the stakes needed to be higher. And again, we don't want to go too deep into the story and all that, but I feel like the stakes were just lacking a little bit throughout the story. And, the stakes in Breaking Bad were just so big.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just needed more of that. But in saying that, great cinematography. The film looks great. Aaron Paul, I think, we haven't seen a lot of him since Breaking Bad. He's been in one or two things, but he gives one of his better performances of his career.
Yeah, he was great in the show, and
because he's obviously still dealing with the effects of what happened at the end of Breaking Bad. So that's kind of still...
He's got quite an emotional storyline that unfolds in the film. So he did some fantastic acting in this. But he was great in the show, and reprising this character again, he's done a fantastic job.
There was some great transitions. So some really great transitions. There is, some flashback stuff like... Breaking Bad does that a lot. Better Call Saul does that a lot. So there's a lot of kind of flashbacks in this. And the way they transition from the present day stuff to the flashback stuff and back and forth between that, there were some really clever transitions in there. And some really cool shots as well. There's one shot in particular where he's in an apartment. And again, I'm not going to spoil too much, but it's just a really, really cool shot. So there's a lot of that. The typical Vince Gilligan style is in there. That all of his trademarks. The writing, the shots, the transitions. And things do tie together. The flashbacks, the modern day stuff. It's not that it doesn't kind of relate to each other. It all connects. So there is that. I think just overall my feelings are it was okay. It was enjoyable, but I don't know if we needed it.
Well, that's the argument, I guess, is whether there's a lot of people throwing around, was it necessary to make? Was it not?
And there's people on both sides of the fence, and look, no matter what side of the fence you fall on, that's absolutely fine. I think you're entitled to feel the way you want to feel about this. I think we are just lucky to get more Breaking Bad. Because it is one of the greatest TV shows ever made, and I think we're just lucky to get another 2 hours of that. So I ain't mad.
Actually, I'm not even mad.
I'm happy that we got those 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if annoyed's the right word, but I do get a little bit annoyed when the argument of, is this necessary, comes about.
Sorry.
Because yeah, we should just be grateful that they're giving us more Breaking Bad, a show that has gone down in history as one of the greatest shows ever. So
I get that,
Does it really matter
when you
if it's
extend on a
necessary or not?
story, when you extend on a story, and it feels like more story needs to be told, and they tell that story, and you get that closure, I feel like that's just more satisfying.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, as we said, we did like it. You know, it was enjoyable. Just wasn't
what we were-
necessary.
just
Not-
wasn't what
really
we were expecting. Yeah.
Yeah. But in saying that, you know, please go see El Camino if you haven't already. And if you already have, please let us know what you thought in the comments below.
Yeah.
Hit that like button if you like this content. And of course, subscribe to our channel for more reviews. But I think that just about wraps it up for today's review.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Just quickly, someone wants to say hello. This is our cat Khaleesi.
Named after you know who.
And no, we don't have regrets of naming her that.
No regrets.
She is a Khaleesi. Look at her. She is a Khaleesi.
So she might be popping in from time to time. So yeah, let us know what you think of our cat in the comments below. But that's it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Down in front.
Bye.
Bye. She's so funny.
Please, you're gonna go down.
Up down, sweetheart.
You can go. All right.